we have not completed the inverse function and how to do the inverse function in mathematics also. Correct? And there are other functions which you have not also completed. Now I have completed all of them. And then all the places we were able to reproduce the results of whatever given the text plus some applications of the interpolation also has been shown now. So we just proceed to repeat the first problem what we have done yesterday on this interpolation result. We have found for this problem we have found the solution. This given the text, and of course I have given here also there is some printout form of Lagrangian, but there is an error in this. So I will leave it to you to enter, find out, and correct it. Where is the mistake in this printouts? It is from somewhere. I have taken it from the literature, and there is an error in this. So don't worry about modification of this. But this will also work. But the problem is there is some error in somewhere. You try to locate them and see whether you are able to correct it in this small write-up what has been given in the Mathematica with an input and output. Okay, there are output results also has been given, but there is an error somewhere. You find to locate it, then correct it, then see the modification what I have done. I just added this m also as a variable so that independently one can look at it. Okay, that's why I'm able to see independently each results of these numbers. Okay, I'm able to see all the numbers independently because of the introduction of this m there. That is why I have made a modification. Otherwise, it will give only the final results will be given. So intermediate steps can also be seen by having, for example, these numbers. Okay, their sum is this result. That's what the and do the interpolation. You will get this by using Mathematica code already built in. This is F1 of data 1 has been done. That gives this result. This number is exactly same as what has been produced by writing this small write-up with the help of the Mathematica, whatever which we have written here. For example, we have taken a product, and that product, every term of the product is summed over this. That is the result. I don't think you have any problem in understanding this. As a function, it is very simple, but only thing the mathematical background and theoretical background required seems to be a little deeper. But still, it's fine. You can understand them when you really look into the problem carefully. Okay, I have mentioned about the inverse function. And here is the y1 equal to 4 and y3 equal to 12 and y4 equal to 19. Y of x is equal to 7, find x. So what is the thing that you have to find out is what is the x, what value of x that y becomes 7. That is why it's an inverse interpolation. You have the 3 data points, 1, 2, 3 are there. So therefore we have this has been taken as it is, and length also 3. But here you have modified here. Change the x to y and capital X by capital Y. That is the change. So now it has become y. Okay. You will see that. Then you look at the results. Instead of y0, I have a x0. Then here y minus y1 and y minus y2. And this is x1, this is x2. In the previous case, you find it is going to be y0, y1, y2. So now you substitute them and simplify that. So as it is, I have written, but automatically that will be taken because I have defined the x and y correspondingly. That should be taken into this, and you find for the data points 1, 4, 3, 12, 4, 19. This is what the number 1, 4, 3, 12, 4, 19 is the data set. This is a function as it is inverse function, which you already found. Then the function x and y is defined here, and we have just looked at this through this function. Make a substitution, y equal to 7. We'll get 1.87, 1.85714. That is what your inverse, which is equal to 1.86. If we approximate it, that is the number which he has given it. Okay, it's approximated. This exact value is 2. Okay, so this expression also we have found, no? That is going to be exact value is equal to 2. So if we do with the Mathematica, I think it will give the exact value. Now we'll try to look at this result now. F2 interpolation data to do it as it is, and the order has been taken as 2. Okay, data set 2. Okay, order is polynomial of order 2. The 3 data sets are there. The 3 are less than 1, 2, 3 are there. Yes. Okay, therefore it has been taken. We have found as it is. And after finding the interpolation, take the F2, find the inverse function for the F2. That is what the method that has been built in Mathematica. Okay. What I'm trying to say is interpolation has been found for as the data given as it is. Then inverse function of F2 is going to be the inverse interpolation function. Now you take IF2 of y equal to 7, you'll get exactly the number 2. That's what the result that is required, but this is numerically approximated. It's approximately corrected by Mathematica by taking things very carefully. It gives the number 2. Why used to there are various methods that are available. It has selected the appropriate method for the data, and therefore it gives the number 2.0 because interpolation we have not given the method. It selects depending on the data and gives the result is equal to 2.0. Okay, that's an exact result when you do it with a Mathematica. So interpolation is find the interpolation first, take the inverse of that function, you use it to find out the inverse value. As I was looking for how to do this, the Mathematica after explaining you people yesterday, then I find there is a method which is available. Just take inverse and then get the result. This is again x equal to sine x and y is equal to sine x. 0, 0, pi by 4, pi by 2 numbers are given. Now data 3, x is and y is not inverse function, it can be taken as it is. Then find the P2 here because 3 data are there. Substitute them. And then for x equal to pi by 6, you just see this is the number that you are getting. 0.517431. So do the interpolation of the data 3. This is here, this data. Yeah, data 3 is this number 0, 0, pi by 4, 0 0.70711 and pi by 2, 1. That's for the sign. Taken this interpolation, substitute x equal to pi by 6, you have this number. So here also no problem getting this, and is confirming that whatever you are getting with the method what has been described, you are getting the same number here. Here again, ln of x. See, this is the sine function, this is the log base e function, and this is the results which are given. Now you can see that data 4 is this numbers which he has given already here, 2.53 corresponding values. And you have been asked to find out what is the value at x equal to 2.7. Again, you just find out what is the p required polynomial you required. This is p3, p2 is 3. Yeah, that's right. You have enough to find the p2. Find out that, substitute. This is the number that you will be getting. This is the exact number. This is the error, and follow the interpolation method. You have the number what has been given here. Yeah, 994116, whatever we have found, but we are getting it again by Mathematica code interpolation. F4, substitute x, this number is exactly same. Okay, so now we can see consistently everything can be found. Only they have not taken the error expression, which you can try. Otherwise, later stage I will show you how to do them. I have not spent time on that to get just those number, but we can here is the error. This number can be obtained by using error analysis, but this is actually directly taking the log of. So in Mathematica, log without any base implies the log base e. Okay, log of E. So this is, for example, what is the value which you are familiar? Log 10 is how much?
2.303.
Yeah, that you could get. So that you clearly indicate that it's going to be a logarithm base E. Okay. So otherwise you have to say base E of what will happen to get those value of this equal to 1. Correct? Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Checking is right. I hope it's right. So therefore LOG in Mathematica is Ln. Then any other base you can write corresponding number. Or if you feel like, for example, if you wanted to be specific about it, you just add log 10 is going to be base 10. This is true. Okay. And you can have a base 2 also. Any base is allowed. You can have any base, doesn't matter. It's independent of the. So you can give any base which you like, log 16, base 10. This is how it goes in. Therefore, you can easily find that log without anything would be base E, otherwise it's a base. Should be indicated. Okay, so now this is what the. So now look at the application of interpolation. Wherever you have a differential equation, whenever you solve numerically, this interpolation will automatically enter in your computation. And this is the wave equation, which is also a PD, partial differential equation. You can see here D, U has a two variables, time and the position. Okay, you're able to see that? And is the U is a variable which is a function of both time and the position. I'm taking the first derivative with respect to the time on the left hand side. Then I'm taking the second two derivatives on the right hand side. This is what the derivative. So you have a first order differential with respect to the time here. This is second order with respect to the position. And if I enter this, you can see u of 1 comma 0, that one indicates that you are taking a differentiation with respect to the first variable what you have here. And here you can see you are taking a second derivative with respect to the second variable. That's what it means. Okay. Right. So this is your simple wave-like equation now. Is it not? But wave equation, electromagnetic wave equation means that you have a second order in time, first order in also. Second order in time, second order in position also. And all of them are traveling with the velocity of light. That's what your electromagnetic wave equation. Now in this I have taken first order here in time, second order in position, and then repeat that also with the second order in time, second order in position also, and see what how this will be. And this idea is to show that how the interpolation is being obtained and that interpolated value is being evaluated here. Then you are just looking at the animated wave-like structure that can be seen for this equation. Okay, end is all. This is the equation which you are taking it. This is what your actual equation here. Then initial condition at time t equal to 0, u of 0, comma x equal to 0. Okay, we have to give the initial condition now. Then you have u of t comma 0 equal to sine t. Therefore, it's going to be an oscillatory. We are assuming that u of t comma 0 is sine t. Okay. Now u of t comma 5 equal to 0. At position 5, it goes to 0. And variable is u, and t is ranging from, please note that here you don't write it as u of t here. You write it as only u. When you have a desolve, you just give it as a u of t. But here you have fixed your variables ranges. Therefore, you simply give the variable u itself. U and t is varying from 0 to 20. The x is varying 0 to 5. That range can be seen after the interpolation. What is the range of interpolation that is available for you to vary and make a plot? See? So, the ND solve, whenever you do numerically, then your output will be of this type. Okay, whether you have a single variable or a double variable or a triple variable, that doesn't matter. Okay, correspondingly, it will reflect over what range that you are going to see the ND solve for each parameter. Here, parameter t varies from 0 to 20, and x is limited to 0 to 5. That's what the limits which have been given. Right? So, this is the interpolated results. Function is available now. Numerically, one can, it is available in the, the polynomial form by interpolating in this range. Now, we find out what is the plot of this by varying t and x. See, I am varying the t from 0 to I in steps of 0.1 up to 20. Starting from 0.1 to 20 steps of 0.1, which means how many data points will be there? 20 minus 0.1 divided by 0.1. That many number of data points will be there. Okay, so some other controlling things are given here, which is performance goal and image padding. I do not know what it is. We can very well check it. You can find out what is the image padding also. Okay, so now if I do the animation now, I could see the waves that are numerically evaluated over the space and the range x0 to 5, which is corresponding coordinates. And then time varying from 0 to 20. So just let me try here to evaluate this. Solution 1 is available now, and it is being animated automatically, and it started moving it. I'm not manipulating it, it's animate. Difference you see that. Animate means automatically it starts giving the response. Okay, now you can have a control over it. Okay, you can have a control over it, and you can change it and see what's happening. This is the starting. 0.1, and go on to the rest of the time. And you see that the x-axis, what you are trying to look is the time axis, now it is I. Okay, this is what the result that you will be seeing it now. This is interpolating with the two variables. Interpolation is done with the two variables, not with the single variable. Interpolated function is available as a two variable. Now this is the time variation, and over the space it's already been taken 0 to 5. And this is the time axis in which you are going to see the animation now. It's nice to see. So interpolation with the two different variables x and t, that is being done numerically for the different ranges. Okay. You can stop here and then if it changes, look at it. Okay, it's fine. Now, what about here? I made this second derivative in this subtle numerical integration and let it evaluate it for the second derivative also. And then try to look at what is happening with respect to this wave. When you take this is nothing but what is the meaning of this one? D square u by dt square when x is fixed. On the other side of it, you have d square u divided by dx square, and there is initial conditions are given. With that, it has been evaluated. Previously, here is du by dt on the left hand side. Here is d square u by dt square. That's what your left hand side right now. Okay, so this is being set as a differential equation now. That is being solved by using the interpolation technique. Numbers are available, and you're going to evaluate and give it. Let's see. This is done now. For two variables, interpolation available. And started animating it, and you can stop it and look at what is happening with respect to this. This is the nice picture that you get. Okay. This initial wave is sine t. So therefore you see this effect of the sine t will be there. You can solve the analytical solution is available, fine. You can assume that this is a solution of sine t and then try to look at the standard one. So what is important here is that interpolation is something which we wanted to explore, and that has been done for a two variables automatically in the ND SOM. So this is what I should share with you. So I think this is almost complete except the error part which I have not done it, which is also possible to do it. But I have done it for case of ln, but not the using the formula, but as it is. Where is it? ln results. Yeah, this is the error here. Actual function is ln of 2.7. This is the function which is interpolated. This number, you should get it when you analyze with the error expression what has been given. That is the meaning of doing an analysis. See, you have a Lagrange interpolation, there is an error. That expression also should give the same number. You will get it. The formula, if you simplify, substitute them, this number should be obtained. Should obtain for the Lagrange interpolation, which means that you have an understanding about the error part evaluation also. Okay. So this is all about your so-called interpolation techniques. Please check this. I want you people to go through this. But please spend your time carefully, typing it carefully also. All the inputs, output, check it. And have a patience to find out where could be the error. Correct the error, you will get the results. Till you correct it, these results cannot be obtained. You won't get this. Okay. I believe there's only one error, then right. Okay. I think it's only one error. You will just find out by carefully type it again. Start from here, one by one, you enter it, and make sure that each step you are getting these outputs. At the end, this is what the result you have. If you don't get it, search for it and put your effort to see that yes, this is the error. By the time now, when you locate that error now, you repeat several times to look into these functions. Function also will understand. Okay, at the end, whatever you read the P2 polynomial, that also you can get an idea what is this really happening here. Here, what is happening here? Why I am not able to get all this that is going to be analyzed, and finally, if you correct it, then if you get it, great, something really good happened. That's what you will be getting a feel. Fine. Okay, we'll jump to the next one. Before you go to the next part of the analysis, I want to spend some time, I think, about the pure function. I think yesterday we have seen some of the mathematical course, the way to apply function. Here we'll spend some more time on the pure function analysis, and then we'll start the numerical integration. That will be quite interesting. Okay, so we'll try to learn this numerical integration afterwards. So we'll start from here. Yeah, that is the most powerful function that is being defined in mathematics. Okay, after all examples we have seen, we are now ready to go to the slightly higher level of abstraction. He says it's a higher level of abstraction. And tackle a very important concept of pure function, also known as pure anonymous function. This is a pure function. Using pure function will let us unlock a new level of power in Wolfram language and mathematics, and also let us redo some of the things which we have done before in a simpler and more elegant way. So we have done it many things already. Similarly, it can be done, but it is more powerful here by understanding this pure functions. Let us start with the simple example. So we have got a list of images. I have images. We wanted to apply a blurring. Okay, what do you mean by blurring? A sharp image that will be blurred by using a blurring statement. Blur. That is easy to do with what? /at. Also, we have seen some of them yesterday also. apply blur to each image in this list. So which means the list can be even images. Need not be a number or a variable or a matrix. It can be images also. It can be different signals. It can be different sounds.
Sir, how to generate that image first? Like,
That's easy. Make a circle, graphic objects, na? Make a three circle in the list. You have a circle of radius, different radius, na? Graphic objects.
yeah, but
They just put a
color.
radius one, different colors over. See, graphic object for a circle can be tried, na? You have done it also earlier.
Okay, I'll
So,
try.
graphics is you have graphics objects. You can locate now. You can just go to the primitives and options. Go to the graphics. Say the circle first thing. Instead of where is that? The blue one is a very pure circle. Where is the blue which is given here? Yeah, you can see here separately also. Try to locate here. Thick green rectangle. This blue is circle of. Well, this is what your circle, and you can understand what you mean by that. Arrow, you have a circle. What is the coordinate which means? See, look at the circle here, x comma y comma r. Okay, x comma y comma r. This is the radius. Okay, and this is the center of this circle. That's what I guess, probably. Okay, you can try here. Graphic circles, and each one of the graphic objects he has given how to use it. For example, disk is a circle. Okay, half line, half planes, parallelogram. Okay, locators, lines. These are all the graphic objects. Okay, of various types are available. Similarly, you have a three-dimensional objects also available. These are all the graphic objects. The following options can be used for them, for those things. So, what is that? Your question is how to make the circles. Okay. Graphics. I just take this one. Copy. So you don't have to know anything except this to define this. So we have seen the circle has what is the variables which we have seen for a circle? 1, 2, 3 brackets are okay. Now it's right. This is the circle I have. Now the first 0 is probably the center of that, and 2, 0, maybe I will make it 1 again, you may get the same thing circle you see. If you make it 10 also, you would see that the same probably. So now I will come back to that again. Check what is the circle, how that is being defined. This defined here. So x comma y represents the circle radius are centered at, okay, x comma y, which means here it is centered at 0. Sorry. Where is it? This one. Yes. So first coordinate seems to be, let me take as 0, 0. Okay. With the radius at the center, radius 1. I'm going to make list of circles and the graphic option available to make the colors. Okay, that is what can be done. And before that, we just wanted to show you that what is going to happen in this. I not close the list has been not been closed. So these both are same. Okay, if we put together what happens, let me try. Show both together. Now you can see the difference. You're able to see the difference now? See, when I put both independently, I'm not able to see that there is a radius of 2. But when I put it over that, I'm able to feel it. So this is the graphic object. Now I can change this. See, this is where you have a game here. I can have a radius continuously increasing, position can be shifted, keep this origin, this is X and Y can be shifted, the circle multiple circles can be made. See, I'm going to show that. Manipulate. Manipulate. What do you want to manipulate? You want to manipulate the radius? Well, we can do that. Okay. 1 plus 2, this is, I'm going to make it as n that can be varied from 0 to, so let's take 5 steps of 1 or steps of 0.1. And I'm keeping this one of them along with that, so that you know that the other circle is going to be a smaller radius. It starts and goes outside this. Will it happen or not? Let's see what's happening. Right? Then see the circle. Are you able to see the center now? 0 is a point. Okay, let me take it point. 1 is a starting point. And it's a small circle here. Okay? You can see this is growing, and then started going. What happened? Why is it coming down? This is what happened? This radius must be center. N. That is must be greater than that. And it is limited to 1. Oh, that's 1, right? Okay. Then it's supposed to increase, it's going down. Maybe visual combination is the way we have combined is not correct way to combine that. We show so I can show what? Why? I'll make this to alone. Okay. Make it now. Oh, that but even see the difference. Because graphic objects is take handling differently. Therefore, you have a show. But I'm expecting that radius increasing, it should go beyond the radius 1. I have to confirm it. Why that is not happening? Well, maybe limited to radius point. This can happen. Show graphic circle point 2, n is the variable, n is 0.1. Let me take from 1 steps of 1. No, I don't know this. I have to check it. Why this is limited to, even though the radius we have given, circle xy represent a circle of radius r centered at x comma y. Give the unit radius circle. Okay, give the axis align ellipse. Okay, this is an ellipse. So maybe you have to check why this radius is not going beyond 1 when I combine. Suppose I'm expecting that should. Okay, now what you can do, the radius of 1 unit, we make 3 different colors. We'll explore the graphic options, which you have seen here. You can see the colors from colors, axis, axis level, axis origin, background, base, okay, format, style, frame style, plot label, plot range, plot style, all will be there. Change the colors, and that is what he has taken here. He has given it 3 different colors: red, green, and must be blue, no purple. So I do not know what is the color of this. Okay, that is what is been given. Then there is a list which is available within the list. What is important is, okay, what is important is that you have 3 circles. Apply this list automatically with the slash, then blur it, which means sharpness get reduced. That is done by this pure function. Okay, otherwise you can write the same statement independently. You have to apply on the list one by one. Okay, take it as a list and then take 1, 2, 3. First you define this list. In fact, this can also be handled like a list. What I want to say is that this is the list. Okay, I'll give a name for this. CLs is this. Okay, enter it. Now I can pick out the CLS1. How do I do it? How do I select the first one? Could they? Come on. I'm able to select it. Like selecting a numbers in the list. So if I want to have a second one, I can select the second one. That's the other one. Third one is here. So now you can see list need not be any expressions or any numbers, can be any objects also. That can also be independently can be operated, each one of the element. The way you like it, you can take it out and then combine them also. That is what the point which I wanted to explain to you now by treating them as a list. Now in this list, at a time you wanted to operate on this independently, every one of the elements in the list that is being carried out by this statement should be done on this first, on this second, on this third. That's being accommodated by /at.
Sir,
Yes.
how we make that slash at here?
You have a slash here and you have an at here. Just type it.
But sir, in our system, it is not working.
Why? It should work, no?
Yeah, because yesterday.
What is the system you have? I don't know. This is a keyboard entry, no? It's available now on the keyboard.
Yeah, but it is not working in our computer.
On the mathematical notebook, it is not working.
Yeah.
But in the Word, it is working.
No, sir. In Mathematica, we add that at, but the command is not working at that time.
We can check it now.
Okay, okay,
it should
sir.
work. It should work.
Okay,
sir. See, now you are applying a blur /at on this. Blur each one of them. You can see the thickness has been increased, no? You can see that? This is sharp. This has become much thicker. You can see the difference now between these two. Are you able to feel that? Or you're not still able to appreciate the picture now? So maybe I should increase the size of the picture by 100. You're able to see that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is blurred. This is a blurring. There's no blurring here. Sharp. So this is blurring. Okay. And /at is also available. So this is, so what is the point is something very important is that the list you can have anything. Anything you like, you can put in. And you can handle one by one also, together also. The way you like to handle it can be handled. It need not be a number or an expression. You can have alphabets also. So it is a list. That list will be can be operated, and all elements that can be used for your purpose the way you wanted to handle them. That is what the point here. Okay. Right. But now let us say we want to include the parameter 5 in blur. Okay. Blur is done here on this at a time. I wanted to include blurring level more here when compared to this. I think you are able to feel here that by looking at the number. Okay. But now let us say we wanted to include the parameter 5 in the blur. How can we do that? The answer is to use the pure function. What is this pure function? Blur, okay, hash, read 5 times, okay, and add on this list. You see this? You get the point?
Yes, sir.
So that's
Yes, sir.
powerful. That's a powerful thing that it can happen now. Okay, you just shift enter now. That can be done here by 5. Suppose if you make it 15, that's out. It's completely blurred. So this is one level of blurred, which is by default it has been defined, that has been done. But you have a control over the blurring level. When you want to use that, then pure function, this is become a pure function. This is also pure function, but by default, whatever which is defined for this blurring level, that has been taken. Now I have a hash here, which goes into this for every one of this circle what you have, 15 times that is being, 15 as the magnitude of blurring level that has been taken and it's being given here. Suppose if I take blurring to the 1, which is almost same as what you have. If I make it 10 times, this is going to be the blurring level. Now I can make a manipulation on this number n and see the various level of blurring. Possible or not? I am going to add manipulate. Okay, make it as a number here. Close the bracket, which is supposed to be there along with that, and then this becomes a number n starting from 1 to, say, let me try to have something like 20. Go up. Okay, so now you can see here, this is one level of blurring what you have. Now you can see what's going to happen. And more disappeared at the end. Still you have the shade. You can see the difference. Okay.
So why shade is broadening?
That's a blurring, no? Image blurring.
Okay.
This is an image. It's blurring. And you can do the deblurring also. There must be a technique available. Blurring and deblurring in Mathematica. Images. So image process, no? You use the image process by using the Fourier transform techniques. Okay. Nice techniques are available using Fourier transform that can be blurring, deblurring can be done. So that is already built with the Mathematica code as a BLUR. Now I'm able to do this one, and we could able to fill that. That's going to happen. We can go in terms of, suppose if you want to go in steps of integer, you add it. In between value also testing taken. So now I have a pure function on which there are multiple. See, which means you know how many operation or how many function that has been handled by adding this manipulate with the pure function. With the hash, it has been done on this with the different values of n 3 times on 3 different images. And then in that, you are varying n from 1 to 20 in all possible steps here. Any in between values. Okay. You can see. And if you start vary it, you see, it takes a number up to 4th decimal. And with the 4th decimal, its animation gives the result. So now this is the most powerful thing that can happen. So suppose if you are having a list, you are going to do many things. No, on different function that are available. This is how you are going to use the pure function. So that's why this is most powerful function in Mathematica. That's why he has mentioned here a very important concept of the pure function. It appears to be very abstract, but it is really powerful. Okay, that can be seen by looking at this. Okay.
Sir?
Yes, please.
Then how can we blur one particular circle in the list, sir? Only one particular circle.
Well, that's nice question to ask. You have asked it. Okay. So I'll put try here, but I'm sure that it must be working it now. Let me try here. No, that's being added here. So you wanted to select one of them and do the operation on that, is it not? So
Yes, sir.
3 of them are there in this list. Already all the 3 lists has been operated on this. Probably I should do one thing at, because this is done at slash at does simultaneously on all these things. So what you are asking, you wanted to have it on only one, is it not? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now let me try whether it's out here. Blurring on only one. No, that's going to be an error here, probably. Because you are asked to select all the three. Then in that case, I have to take out this. See what's happening. One, no, that's also doesn't help. But there are ways to do it. But within this, see, you are reducing your efficiency of your pure function by making this. See, we wanted to explore the list completely. Instead of that, you are asking to one element, you wanted to do that, is it not? Am I right? You are asking
Yes, sir.
to,
Yes, sir.
and one element. One element means it's, if I have, as I said, because it's not necessary to have and at. Okay. Okay. So let me explain to you now. Edit, copy, go back. I don't have to use the view function because I'm going to use only one element. Blur on this, the hash, the list, which is supposed to be selected. Let me try with this one and see what's happening. No. That's all the three will be taken because of that. Okay, so that case, the alternate way is this. What I did here, CLS. Okay, I'm going to select CLS. Blur on this. Now I wanted to have only one. Do the blurring on this. This list is not necessary because I have only one element in this. Okay, I'll put CLS 1. Correct. Which is already defined already. This is available for you. That has come here. Be possible to see. Then play CLS, comma, no, the blurring, blur, sorry, that should be, comma, n, then close it. But I have only one. See, this alone has been done. If I take the 2, I'll get the second one. I'm able to do independently second one. 3. This is for the 3, which is independent. Which is, you have made your program less powerful when compared to the pure function. The pure function idea is multiple things that can be done at a time. Now we are making it as a less efficient this statement. You get the point what I'm trying to explain here?
Yes, sir.
You can see this independently I'm trying to do one by one. But that's not our interest. I have this list contains so many of them are there. So you make it as a pure function, which by using a hash and n is the variable, this hash and slash at takes care of bringing the list one by one into this. And that hash is going to be as a list part of the variables that will be operated on n. So therefore, we wanted to have a efficient way to do it. And if it can, that can also be done like this. You may ask that what will happen if I use this is, you can see I'm bringing the list inside. Okay, put it over here. Okay, come on. I am interested to do 2 at a time. Then let me take 1 and 3. This also a question can come. Okay, what happened to this? I'll not close it. This slash. Now, what is going on? 3. Okay, to be possible. Yeah, I have a 2 at a time. Close what is it? With the n. No, that's not the way to do it because I have to do the blur one by one. Blurring on the list that been done. So now you can see what's going to happen now. I have this CLS1. Remove it. Okay, and the blur level is n. Correct? Close it. Comma. I have to do the same thing again because I have to do on the other picture also. Okay, that will be put in the part of the list. Okay, move this, and I make this is 3 and this is 1. That doesn't matter, but n is common for both. So now I hope it should work. Going to work or not? It will be. And just removing this. Okay, blur has been done here, and I'm supposed to have the list here. And this is removed because n is a variable. Is along with the blur that should be there, and that has been taken care. 3 and 1 is now we can see that this blurring is going to take place now independently, and that is what the result that you have. So blur is done independently for a different values of n on each one of them. That is being combined here. That's why it's a pure function, which is a powerful function. I don't have to define 3 times for 3 different circles. You get the point? This is, if you expand it, this is what the statement. I have to add one more here for the 2 also. Add. Make it as 2 here. The list. I don't want to do this. You can see the order has been changed. Now you can see the blurring. Whereas such statements can be put in this form. That is a pure function. Do the same, okay, for each one of the element in the list. Okay, for that we make a pure function. This is replacement of this by this. That's what the meaning of that. I hope you are understanding the power of this, because at a time, what is going to happen for this element in the list, this element in the list, it's happening simultaneously, whereas here is independently taking. The computation time also more, okay, and number of operations also getting increased. Whereas here, it is reduced by a factor of, say, 1/3 is reduced, plus this is again, this each one of them will be evaluated at a time. There is only one place n is taken care. Okay, that incremented, but incremented every one of the function, and then that is being calculated. Correct? You see the complexity that's involved for the computation here is very high when compared to this. Complexity, what I'm referring is in terms of the time consumption, in terms of the CPU operations are much higher here when compared to this. Okay, so that is where this is going to be powerful. And in fact, the whole of his Mathematica codes, what he is built are basically based on these pure functions. Many things that he has built based on the pure function, that is why he is able to accommodate in a small space something like 6,000 different kind of a Mathematica statements or codes that are defined, and we are able to use it in a powerful manner. Okay, so therefore this is become the most useful thing that one should start think, and then make sure that you can think about handling things through such functions. You can see the difference now. I hope that you will be appreciating when you really look at independently this and then writing in a. So now you can understand what is the purpose of the pure function now. Okay, with this small example, whatever which we described, and you see the list, whatever you have. As I said, it can be numbers, it can be expressions, it can be mathematical expressions of various things. Like if you have a Hermite polynomial or any other polynomials, each one of the polynomial can be taken. It can be 100 elements or 200 elements at a time that can be applied by using these simple statements. So therefore, it is the most powerful. You see, I have here in which I have taken the n as also variable that is being manipulated and it has been given. Okay, so let's look at the Other things, examples, what he has given. Let us look at some other examples. Every time a slot indicates where to put each element when the pure function is applied. Okay, so now you can see rotate hash 90 degree. Okay, and slash at 1, 2, 3. What is that actually? It's doing now. Instead of giving independent statement 3 different times, they like what has been explained there. It has been grouped here using a pure function with a hash. This takes number 1, rotates 90 degree, take the second one 90 degree, third also 90 degree rotates, and it is printed here. That has given the output as 1, 2, 3 in the list, which is 90 degree rotation. You can make any degree of rotation which you like. Okay. This is 120 degree. You can make a rotation by 45 degree. You can make a rotation by 5 degree also. This 5 degree rotation. Okay, see that. Right? Now you can see. Take a string now, rotate it by different amount. What is the string? Hello is the string. Okay. 30 degree, 90, 180, 220 degree. This is the rotations. Okay. So this is the string, and hash is being used here to operate on this. And at 30, 90, 180, 220. This is what the result that you have. Okay, so the text in a list with different colors. Style, with respect to this font size is 20. Put a hash, and that red, orange, blue, purple. You have it now. Okay, and have these small numbers and bigger numbers, and put it in these colors. So you can have, if you wanted to increase the size of that, then you can use the manipulation to change this 1, 2, 3. So smaller, bigger, small, bigger, 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 you can make it. So this can be a number here, n, and as I said, you can make a variation here. Start from somewhere about what? Where do you want to start? Let me take n, starting from 12 to something like 30. I can go in steps of 1. Of course, fraction also allowed. Doesn't mean that you should have a smaller. So now hello, hello, hello is there. So these hellos becomes growing size. Okay. By 1 unit of it. Of course, if you don't have it, any fraction is also taken into consideration. Let me try here to look at it. Up to 30. So now whatever is fixed here can also be variable on this so-called pure function. So here also I can change this. Instead of making a list, I'll put some variable here, and then I just make sure that it is rotating in a different angle. This also can be done. Okay, now we have a graphic circle here. Circle with the so-called unit radius is this one. Simply make a circle with the square brackets. This radius with the center, and there is a unit radius, the radius of the circle. Image size, and this is the image. And you can make it as hash here. And that you varying like image size is 20, 40, 30, see small, 20, what is this? Yeah, that's right. 20, 40, 30, 50, 10, all possibilities are there. Now we can see this image size of the circle can be controlled by simply adding the number as a hash, and that is being operated and slash at with 20, 40, 30, 50, and 10. So you will get this images now. Okay. Now framed columns, color negate, and there is a color negation is there taking place between this. There's a column with red, green, blue, purple, orange, color negated. This is the color and color negation. Both two of them are in a column form. Two things are there, this and this. So this hash is being used two different places in the list. So in the list also the same thing which goes on. Take a red, this is the red, and negate, color negate and red is going to be this. Okay, green, negate that, you will get this. Blue, negate yellow, you have the must be green, brown, or a purple from becoming green, some orange becomes blue. That is the color negates. And you are putting in a column form. And this is this. Now you can see within this there are two hashes are there. The same variable is being used for the purpose of the colors. One as it is and other one color negate. It must be put in a column form with the frames. Which is framed. Frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the frames given. And if you wanted to make each one of them, then you have to make the same statement every time with the red separately, green separately, blue separately, purple separately, orange separately. In the column form, the table, then framed table you have to make, and then you can get it by typing it as 5 times. Okay, string length, Wikipedia data hash. Okay, and Apple, Peach, and Pear. What is this? Great. Compute the lengths of the 3 Wikipedia articles. You know what is the length of Wikipedia articles here? What does it mean? What is the meaning of this? String
How
length.
many words are there, sir? String length means how many words?
Yeah, that Apple, how many times that are appeared there in the Wikipedia data. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Peach, this many number of times, and this many number of times, yeah, maybe if it's working now, it will take time or that's giving without taking any time. Just is it giving? No. My input is 20. No, I think it's not getting connected there. It has to get connected to Wikipedia data. Yeah, 29, 28, maybe 29 has come. Yes, now the number is different. It took some time now because it has to search the whole sort of Wikipedia data in which where are the apple, where are the peach, where are the, you can count them and write it. So 33,907 times. This is 27,000, this is 11,000. So this is so common word. Okay, so therefore it is fine. And what happened to this here? Pair topics with results, of course. You pair it. This with this, and this. Maybe if they enter it, this number will be different now. Might be taking little time. This output is input is 30, that output should come as a. So now this number is, this is what the number is. The pairing. In the list, you are asking to add the word also. That is the word which you are using it in this search. Okay. Okay, make a grid of everything. And make a grid. This is the grid. Okay. And you can check it now. Just 1 minute. 1 minute I'll be back.
സാർ മൈക്ക് ഓഫ് ആണ്.
Sir, your mic is muted.
Yeah. Is it okay now? Fine.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So now we can see here again the hash, how it's being styled. This is the hash for the Q divided by 10 pi star again hash. This is 3 different places this hash is used. What is that it's going to do? Integer digits 2 power 100. What does it mean? What is the meaning of this? Can anybody suggest? Okay. If you don't know, then what I will do, I will break this. What is this? This is what? I'm going to, again, I'm going further in. So this is what the number I have, correct? 2 power 100. Integer digits. So this becomes an integer digit by separating every one of them. 1, 2, 6, 7. This is what the integer digits of 2 power 100. On that, there is an operation is done. Okay, style. So this is the style that's being followed here, and we can see this number here. Small number here. I don't know how you're able to see that. There is a 1, there is some number 2 is here. Okay, 6 is here, 7 is here. Okay. Then 6, 5. There's some number here. It's so small in writing. Okay, like this, it goes on and completes up to last number 6. Style. This make a list. This makes a list of digits, then maps a pure function over it. So these are the digits. Map the pure function over it. So what does it mean? Now we have the 1 to 6. 3 things that are happening. Number. First is number is written. Then second is the for that, what is the color that should be followed that has been taken, and the size of it is also being fixed. Okay. I think 1, 2, 3 of them has been taken. 1 to 6. You see the number 1 to 6. Then 7, 6, 5. Then probably from here 6, 5, 7 upwards. For 0, zeros are left without anything. Whereas 2 is available. Okay, 2 is available. 0, you don't have anything. 0, you don't have anything. Correct? Are you able to follow that? 2 is here. 8. So you can see every time you have a one, 2, 6, 7 to 6. Then 506, 5 is available, 0, 6 is available. Then there are 2 zeros followed by that, you have a 2. Then another 2 is here, then 8. So which continues till the last number that has been given in this order by having style as it is hash, and this has become a color which is this number divided by 10, the corresponding color has been taken, and this is multiplied by 5 times that has been. This is what the pure function with the style operating on 3 different things at a time till it completes all the integers, digit integers or the integer digits. This is the number. It has been converted to digit form. It has been written by applying this. So this is what thing that happens with respect to the statement. I hope it's clear to you. Okay. Hopefully it is clear for you. Whatever you are getting an output seems to be meaningful. Wherever you have blank, that's from the zero. So you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places 0, 0, 0 you have. Okay, let me check. Right, now here, what the pure function would do if mapped over 6, 8, 9. The style H6, Q 6 by 10, that he's trying to explain probably, 5 into 6. Style 8.
Sir, here individually it is doing.
It is doing individually. That's what he's trying to show. Here, what the pure function would do if mapped over 1 by 1.
So same thing can be applied for a blurring as well. For
Blurring now, you should know that what is that you are going to do for 3 times. Here it is done, 3 things have been done.
Okay.
You're doing 3 things on the blurring that can also be accommodated. You got the point? See, this hash,
Yes,
see, under this tail, hash is used 3 different places, 3 different operations. Number 1 is the hash as it is writing the number. Number 2, the same hash divided by 10, that's going to change the color of the number what you are going to see. Then the size of it. Okay, that is what he's trying to explain here. You can see, for example, 6. We take this is the number. You get the point? 6. Q has 6 by 10, 5 into 6. And this is the first thing that has happened with respect to this. The whole of this thing provides this number. Understand? No. Size is something like 30 times. Q is 6 by 10 is 0.6. That is the color corresponding to that. Okay. 30 times is the size of that. This is the size actual as it is. I mean, I expanded this. That's why it looks too big. Okay. You follow? This is 6. This is 6 by 10 with this different color. And this is the third one is the number. Okay. No. 6, 8, 9. See, 6 in between, these are all zeros. There are two are there. 2. But he has specifically taken 6 alone and found here. Take 8 corresponding, sorry, and 9. This is what the thing that happens. Which means 3 hashes are operated on each one of the integers what you have. Integer itself as it is, number 1, corresponding color of that, and what is the size of that. That is what is blue. Here, 8 is here, with the color of this, hue color is this, and then 40 is the size, that is bigger than that when compared to this. Similarly here, for a 9, this is the color of that because of the hue, and then size is again, hue size is too big, 45, therefore it's bigger number. So simultaneously, for a given integer, 3 things has been done. You understand what I'm trying to say? No? 6, for example, for the hash. This should also be 6. This should also be 6. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That's happening. 6, 6, 6. For example, hash is 8 here. 8, 8, 8. You see 8, 8, 8. Right? 8, 8, 8. You see here 8, 8, 8. Similarly, 9. 9, 9, 9. So each one connected to the style of the size and color or the number has been done. For a 6, this is the color I want. So maybe you can see what is this Q color? Q, H, U, E, 6 by 10, what it is. The color is there. You're able to see this. This color is here for the 6. And look at the size, 5 into 6. This is this style size. Okay, style size. Okay, I hope it is clear now to you. All the 3 is connected to the style that has been given for the specific element, which is 6. This is for the 8. This is for 9. That is what has been done it for all the integers. Okay. Is that clear? I hope you can think it over about
Yes,
it.
sir.
Yeah, it is clear. So there's nothing great here to spend your time too much on this. Okay. But it's quite interesting to see how powerfully this Q function which is being handled here. Okay, now that we have seen some examples of Q function in action, let us look more abstractly at what is going on. Okay, the maps. This maps an abstract Q function over a list. I have a list here. Okay, and hash f of x. F of hash x and slash at, which means that the hash is replaced by A, B, C, D, E. Everybody is being mapped. Okay, is that right? This is mapped with this for the given value of x. So therefore, you will find f of A, x, f of B, x, f of C, x, D, x. This is mapping. Here is the minimal example. Okay. Now, don't worry about this. If you don't have that, just add this. F of A, f is mapping on this A, B, C, D, E. This is equivalent to f of at slash. So the hash, the minimal, only one hash. So here is another variable is there. Here is no variable, and that is equivalent to f of slash at A, B, C, D, E. This is what the function which we have. So we can put slots wherever want to you want in the Q function as many times as we want. All the slots get filled with whatever the Q function is applied to. So now f of hash, and within that there is a list f of x comma hash. Then you have a double hash here on A-B mapping. See, f of A, and that I'm adding this hash f of xa, and double hash means A will be sitting here. So you can see the single variable with the list of x comma A with the list of A comma A, that is going to be as a mapping of the function f on A, xa and A. Similarly, B, xb, bb. So mapping can be done in a multiple way also, because you're just repeating the hashes. Okay, you can see what's happening. What has happened to here, same thing repeats for the B. This is the slightly more complicated Q function, and it is easier to read it in column. Okay, make it in column. Let's put column. This is on the. It's okay. Now we are ready to final discussion. How Q functions really work when we write for x. We are apply the function f to x. Often we will use a specific named function instead of a f. Say blur. Instead of function, yes, a blurring is a function. Okay, that blur is what it is being given here. You can see nice beautiful pictures here. Blur photo, blurring. Okay. And this is the blurring with a level. You don't see anything. There are other applications. Right. So but the point is that we can also replace f by a Q function. Then what are we we applied this, so will be used to fill the slot in the pure function. So you can see f of slash the hash a and x. So that's being replaced here. Apply pure function to x so that hash slot gets filled with x. That can be done. Equivalent form again. This is equivalent. So now we can see that what slash hat is doing is just applying a pure function to each element in the list. So this is what the result is. The same thing I written out more explicitly like this. Independently each one x, y, z. So why is this useful? First of all, because it is the foundation for all the things of pure function to do with slash hat. But it's actually also often useful on its own. For example, as a way to avoid having to repeat things. So repetition can be avoided. Here is the example of a pure function involving 3 occurrences of slots, the hash. 1, 2, 3. 3 occurrences of this. Okay. Now what does it mean? This is blending the red and yellow. Okay. And is being used through the hash. Okay. So you have 3 things, 1, 2, 3 for each one of them. For the red, so this has been happening, and this is blend has been done. What is this? Let us close here. So blend this red and yellow and use the hashes to put it in a column form. This is what it looks like without the pure function. If I don't have the pure function, this is what the result is. It is one and the same. As I said, in the previous case with the circle, they made it separately. That is the result. So put the blend red. What is the red and yellow? You blend it. Color negate the blended red and yellow. And similarly, again blend red and yellow. So you are doing a blending, color negate, blend yellow, and then blend red and yellow. This is what the thing which is independently after has been given, that has been combined, that has been given in a compact form. Okay, so if the evolutionary language of pure function works just like anything else on its own, though it doesn't do anything. Okay, this will not do anything on its own. Enter a pure function on its own, it will come back and change it like a list. If you enter it, it will be coming back as unless you ask to do something on the list. So get it to the map, okay, slash hat. So and it will be used to do computation. Map uses the pure function to do computation. Map this. Over the course of the next few sessions, you will see more and more uses of the pure function. There are some exercises, some important vocabulary is given, and the exercises are given, and some questions connected to that are there. You can go through them. And what I wanted to emphasize here, like this, there are something like 37 or 38 lessons that are available. And every one of them, if you spend time, whenever you find free, most of them you can understand when you try to read carefully. And if you have a problem, you break it like this. What better if you have done, no? Like this, you can break it. Take it out one by one and look at things. Try to have an understanding. Oh, this is what the purpose for which this pure function is. Similarly with the other functions. There are many things that have been given in the 38 lessons. Every one of them has at the end the vocabulary part. Exercise will be there, and you have a questions and answers. Read them, spend your time little carefully. It's possible for you to understand more about it. Then practice these exercises. That is important. It's available there. I believe when extra gets started, you go to the it goes to the laboratory of the Wolfram Cloud. And there you will see the questions here. Okay. Use range, the pure function, to create a list of first squares. Make a list of the results blending yellow, green, and blue with red. Generate a list of framed columns containing the uppercase and the lowercase version of each letter to the alphabet. Make a list of letters of alphabet in random colors, with the frames having a random background colors. Make a table of G6 countries together with their flags and arrange the results in a fully framed grid. Make a list of word clouds for the Wikipedia articles about Apple, Peach, and Pear. Make a list of maps of Central America, highlight each color in turn. Give a simpler form range. Like this, for every one of the lessons they have given it. Okay, try to think it over this problem and see that some effort can be taken, and you can look for the expected hour, click to enter course. So these things you should practice them, because that's something like as you said, 738 lessons that you have. I hope you can see them here. Here it is. To the right, there are the documentation. Right. Here. This is documentation. Language introduction. Fast introduction. Yeah. I do not know how many of them have seen this. People have seen? Any of you have seen this? Please go through them. 37 lessons, not 37. They have display natural association. These are all very, very important associations. So you don't have to master all of them. Whatever which you use often, that you can go through. So geo computation, you don't have to worry. Okay. There are machine learning, you don't have to worry. Whatever is using pure anonymous function, which you have seen 26.
So what is the meaning of machine learning?
Yeah, you go to there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will see.
Okay, this is what you are machine learning. That's what I said. These lessons are, you can make your own reading and try to understand. Then make sure that that can also be used whenever there is a requirement. This is what you are machine learning. So far in this book, when we have wanted the Wolfram language to do something, we have written code to tell it exactly what to do. But the Wolfram language is also set up to be able to learn what to do just by looking at the examples, using the idea of machine learning. So machine learning is saying what it is, using the idea of machine learning. We will talk about how to train language yourself. But first, let us look at some built-in functions that have already been trained on a huge numbers of examples. Okay, language identity takes pieces of text, identifies the human language they are in. Identify the language of each phrase is in. See, now you can see there are phrases here. Okay, copy, paste over here. Is it pasting? No?
Must see.
Copy to clipboard. Okay, copy, paste. Paste is here, or you can use Control C. V will be no. It has come. See here. Language identifier. Enter. Yeah. English, French, Spanish, Chinese, Russian. So you can see this is thank you is English. This is the merci is the French language. Spanish is la gracias. I don't know how to pronounce it. And these two, it's impossible. Chinese and Russian. You never have a chance to. Probably you have to copy and paste and look for the Google search and look for the pronunciation. Then you can think about the pronunciation. Okay, so
Yeah, our question is how it may be working, how it is. There may be
well,
some.
that is that is something which is see these things now. It goes to the web directly to the Mathematica web. Okay, at the Wolfram Center. There is the so-called the things available now.
Artificial intelligence or something.
There are many things that is available with them that are linked there. You use that. That's all. That's how. You wanted to master this, then you have to learn about this language identity. You have to put a question mark, find out what it is. You are asked a question here, and I am looking for an answer for this. This is one way to look at it. Put it here, something question mark. Go there. See that's taking the solution now. See. If you wanted to understand this, how this is being done and how it is being implemented, well, but this is not our interest, so we don't bother much. Is it not? But it's there. It has been used. So identity with the string. And also how many languages that they have used, that also there. The important language that is available on the there that will be used, not all of them. For example, you ask to write about Tamil and Malayalam, if you ask to do it, then it may not do the job. Okay, so this is image identity, identified. This is Sita. Okay, that's it. Copy the clipboard. Copy. I want to know whether this went over because I have not tested these things. But I know that these things can be done. There is a way to it. This is how you will be learning. Okay. Just identify the image. Searching. Check it. Okay. Result is given. Classify. Sentiment. See, these are too much, no? See, I am so excited to be. Let me copy this clipboard and see. You enter it. So you ask for what is a machine language. So you look at this one. Positive. I'm so excited to be programming. So it is a positive. So sentiment also can be identified. Okay. And this one again. Copy the clipboard. Paste it. And then sentiment. Math can be really hard. The negative. And this is some classification of these, some arbitrary shifts. With training example, classify the correctly identifies a handwritten, I say. So what is handwritten that should identify? Okay, so this is the another thing. Then nearest. Okay. What is nearest? Nearest to find the number in the list. In the list is nearest to 22. Okay. So this is the 22, nearest is 20 that has been given. Okay, and nearest 22 and three such things. Three numbers nearest to 22. So 20, 30, 10 that has been found. So nearest color selection again. So nearest word. Okay, you can see good food, God, all the things are coming nearest to that. And then blur, hello. Okay, rasterize and blur it. So that's also done. So again, text recognize. Blurred form, you give it, it recognizes. Table, text blurred. So table blurred with various levels. We already seen for the circle. And the table image identify blurred. So this is also there. And when it becomes very blurring become large, then it will be having a problem in identifying it. Okay. So image identity again, all 100. So like this, there are so many things that are available. There are time clusters, nearest neighbor graphs. See, this is all which we don't use. Okay, this is the table raster is from letter to letter number. Another way to do it, and then future space plot. It's not something which we are not interested immediately, and there are exercises. So like this, if you come across other things that you can ignore them, and whatever it is essentially interested, that can be learned. As you asked, the images, interactive manipulation. So this is something very exciting, which is quite useful, which you can think about it, having a interactive manipulations. And how he has given the, say you can see the manipulate column n square and cube. This is what the thing that happens with the manipulation. Then chart, other things, bar chart, polygons. Then there is other things which is use.
So tomorrow our class is at 2:30 again.
Oh, okay. It's already over 4 o'clock. I thought of starting
Yeah.
with integrations.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
anyway, you can brush up your integration basics, like at least trapezoidal method and Simpson method. Okay, just look it up and come.
Students have already learned it, so
Learn.
that
Yeah, that will be easy.
using
But
Fortran.
yeah,
Okay.
okay, everything for that. But
Using
we will
Mathematica,
visualize
yeah.
what do you mean
Yeah,
by
yeah.
visually
Yes,
you
sir.
can feel what do you mean by an integration. Okay.
Yes, sir. That is
And
very
then
important.
trapezoidal and Simpson also
Yeah.
you can visualize it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That will be interesting. Okay.
Student
else-
asked a question whether that I have just tried and it is coming correctly. Like,
Which one?
yeah, one question on at the rate.
Oh, okay. It will come. It will come.
Yeah.
The rate. Possible. So I just wanted to stop here. Probably go back to this. Close this. Close this. Yes. Close. No. Close this. Yeah. Done. You just see numerical integration here. Just usual numerical. And picturely you can show and actual function, integrate it and get the number, the simple method of integration logic and the differentiation logic also I'll be explaining in the next class. In addition to this, I wanted to show the comparing the basic. This is quite interesting to see. I do not know how many of them are familiar with this kind of pictures are there.
Sir, here again we need to know what is how to evaluate the error. Maybe sometimes later.
Okay. Then I should go through that and get the error analysis. See, now you can see e to the minus 2x is this decaying 4 points now.
Yes, sir.
So now you can see left sum now. This is the left sum, left side summing, and into the number of points. Okay, your integration improves. But there is this is excess now. This is the error. This area is not part of the
Yes,
curve.
sir. This is really wonderful.
That is what I wanted to say. And this is the right sum. When you do this is an error.
Yeah, under.
So it is lower side error. This is on the higher side error. Midpoint will be error will be minimum. Select the midpoints because it's being shared here. Added and this is the excess. This is the error component. So when
sir, this is really.
That's what you are that is what you are going to learn.
Insightful.
Yeah, this will give for a given function. What is the error also? Now you can feel the error contribution now.
Really, sir. Really, sir.
You quantify it by using some mathematical technique. A number of times this is repeating now, and each time it is getting reduces also. It reduces, and you add all of them. That's going to be error. Same thing in trapezoidal method also. Okay, you do.
So there are certain occasion.
This is more error.
So there are certain occasion whether we have to use higher degree polynomial or smaller.
No, again, it depends on the nature of the function that is there as an integrand. See, sometimes you can use polynomials. Number of iterations require a number of polynomial order is very much higher. Suppose if we use a method of say Hermite polynomial for integration, okay, the number of steps will be enormously get reduces.
Yes, sir.
So there are other polynomials that are available to integrate depending on the function. If you select them, see, these are all the common, simple, known integrations. When it comes to the special integration with the number of steps you wanted to reduce it, then people try to go for different kind of specialized functions that will reduce your number of steps that is involved in your integration enormously. That's the idea there.
Yes, sir.
So these are all routine methods, okay, where you can really see that it's possible to do the integration quickly. There are functions you have a really problem with that to handle it. Okay. This is another way to look at the other function. This is our smooth query functions. I'll explain them, what do you mean by an integration first. How do you perform without having any specific method. Then go ahead with the specific method and then see how one can evaluate them and see the results numerically. Okay. And by adding a number of steps, no, see how this is going to improve. For Simpson, no, 2 points. See the error.
Yes, sir.
Add it. Getting ready. That's the number of points, number of subintervals that you have taken. So this is error is 10 power minus 6. And with same thing, if you try to come down now, it goes by a large magnitude of error. -3. Points, you see? It's huge. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
See, this is the approximate area. This is exact area. This is the difference. It matters. All this that can be understandable. I thought I can start it today itself, but since it is pure function, I felt it is important. So then I felt, okay, let's spend some time on this pure function. I think there are 2, 3 of them are very important. Among the 47 lessons, 3 or 4 are very, very essential, mostly used, important and powerful.
Yes.
That one at least is practice. Okay. Right? We'll meet in the tomorrow's, what is the day?
Sir,
What's that, Friday?
hello.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.